So after 8 long years, Dragon Ball Super is finally returning.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening!
But not in the way that you think it is. With the newest announcements from the 40th anniversary Dragon Ball Genki Dama Matsuri event, they announced that the Galactic Patrol, or the Moro Arc, is finally going to be animated. But first, before we get to the Moro Arc, there is another project that got announced for the anime, and that is Dragon Ball Super Beerus. Dragon Ball Super Beerus is pretty much going to be a new retelling or a remake of the Battle of Gods arc from Dragon Ball Super. And I'm pretty sure everyone's initial reaction to this was, why? We already have a movie and the anime version from 2015. Well, this video is going to answer that question, and also explain why I think that the Dragon Ball Super remake should be very exciting for fans. So first off, I want to talk about why they're even retelling the Battle of Gods arc once again. If you go back over 10 years ago in 2015, Dragon Ball Super was airing as a weekly anime, and the first 27 episodes were spent on retelling the movies that just came out before it. But the quality of the anime arcs were nowhere near the level of the movies, to the point where you could just watch the movies and then start from the Universe 6 vs Universe 7 tournament arc in the anime. The art and the animation was not up to a good standard in the beginning, which led to infamous episodes like episode 5 where Goku fights Beerus on King Kai's planet, and episode 24 between Goku and Frieza. Dragon Ball Super got a lot of backlash and criticism from the fanbase during the beginning of the anime, and even Akira Toriyama himself said that he was not happy with the quality of the TV anime. This gave DBS a bad reputation, and even to this day, people still talk about how Dragon Ball Super got off to a rough start. But this remake is going to try and rectify that issue. As we have seen from the trailer, this remake looks stunning. The art and the animation are a huge step up from before, so we know this anime will be received a lot better compared to the previous anime. And if you look at the long term, if someone new to Dragon Ball were to watch Dragon Ball Super, they can just start from Dragon Ball Beerus, and they'll have a much better viewing experience with this. And this could actually restore the reputation of Dragon Ball Super. They're also adding in a lot of new scenes as well, so even though this is the third time retelling this arc, we are still getting some new scenes, and Toriyama seems to have been the one who added these scenes before he passed away. And also, the pacing is going to be a lot better too, because like I said before, the original DBS anime spent 27 episodes on the movie retellings, with the Battle of Gods arc being 18 episodes long. But apparently with Dragon Ball Beerus, it's going to be roughly around 6 or 7 episodes long, which is about 3 times shorter than the original anime version. And this also adds to a better viewing experience, because pacing is very important when it comes to watching any type of media, whether it's anime, a movie, or a live action TV show. It means that they're going to pretty much remove all the filler scenes from the original Super anime, so the arc is going to be a lot more concise and more to the point, which is what most animes are doing right now. The days of weekly anime with filler seems to be over, and anime studios are instead focusing on the quality of their episodes, rather than the quantity of their episodes. And I'm glad that Toei Animation is finally doing this after so many years. They're doing this with One Piece's Elbaf arc, which is now seasonal, and now with Dragon Ball, it's going to be seasonal with the arcs that they adapt. So with this remake of Dragon Ball Super starting with Beerus, it will be great for the newer Dragon Ball fans to get into Super with an enhanced and improved version, and it's also good for the old fans who were disappointed by the quality of the original anime, and this remake is going to serve as like an apology letter to them. And I think another reason for why they decided to start by remaking Battle of Gods before going straight to Moro is so that maybe they wanted to give Toyotaro more time to write his manga if it comes back this year. Now we're still unsure of when the DBS manga will return after its hiatus, but maybe that's why they don't want to go straight into Moro immediately. Because the only arcs that haven't been animated in Dragon Ball Super are the Moro and the Granola arcs. If they immediately jump into those 2 arcs whilst the manga is on hiatus, then there will no longer be any content to adapt from. But at least with remaking the previous arcs, if the manga does return this year, that gives the manga more time to stay ahead of the anime, so we won't have to run into another situation to where the anime will have to take a long break once it catches up to the manga. And this remake of the anime might be made to where it will fit with the manga version, because if you guys didn't know, the Dragon Ball Super anime and the manga are completely different. Yeah, they have the same arcs, but there are a lot of key differences between them. So with this remake, it's going to be a more faithful adaptation of the manga. We do get some information on this from the Dragon Ball website, where they say that Dragon Ball Super Beerus is going to have a full reconstruction of the story and will be more faithful to the manga version. Which is good, because I think the manga version is better written and is more consistent than the anime version, especially the power scaling. So remaking Dragon Ball Super's arcs with manga accuracy and enhanced art and animation will be great, since it will flow better into the Moro and Granola arcs. I made a video a few months ago where I talked about how Dragon Ball Super's anime ruined its reputation, and why I think that the manga version is better. If you guys are interested in watching it, I'll put the link in the description. And I could even tie this remake with Dragon Ball Daima as well, because there have been debates about whether Dragon Ball Daima is canon or fits into the timeline with Dragon Ball Super, since Super Saiyan 4 was never mentioned in Dragon Ball Super at all. So this remake could actually mention Super Saiyan 4. Goku doesn't necessarily have to transform into it, But I think even if they just explain why Goku can no longer go into that form, I think that would be good enough to fit those two stories together and finally end the debate about Daima being canon or not. And those were my reasons for why I think that the Dragon Ball Super remake is a good idea, because they bring us an enhanced version of the anime in terms of art and animation, and it also gives the manga more time to stay ahead of the anime if it does come back in the future. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for the new Dragon Ball Super remake? Let me know in the comments down below. 2026 is the year of Dragon Ball. It's been 8 long years of starving, and now we're finally getting it. And I can't wait to see what the anime has to offer. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.